So, I got a story time for y'all, man. I'm gonna go back, right? I know one of my videos, I talked about my best friend passing away. So this takes place in last year, right? So last year, I was going out, right? Like, I was always out, and I was with girls every night. You see what I'm saying? I was always with girls, different girls. So one night, this girl's like, I'm 18 at this time, and he brings this girl over. She was beautiful, so I was like, oh, she's a beautiful girl. We started making conversation, and she was one of the first girls I met at the time that, like, I could relate to about a lot. You know what I'm saying? We kind of shared the same life in a way. I was on drugs, and she was on drugs. We was all just jacked up at this time, man. I've been sober for 8 months, right? But sometimes it does get hard to stay sober. I battle a lot, man. Like, a lady had told me a long time, like a couple months back, she said, you're always going to be recovering. So don't ever feel bad if you ever relapse or you go through that, because you're always in recovery. And I haven't relapsed in 8 months. I pray and hope that I never go back to it, right? I just want to let that out. I try and strive every day to be great. You know what I mean? I don't want to ever let anybody down. So going back to the story, so I used to be on the corner. If you're from, treacherous areas, it was given away to the community, if you know what I mean. Right? I'm not talking about no bricks or nothing like that. I'm talking about body. You know what I'm saying? She would come back with all this money. So she was struggling. She's not even from down here. Something had happened that I'm not going to speak about where she was actually from. So when I met her, she actually had just came down. She got in a hotel and I was staying with her. Now, I wasn't actually staying there. Like, I was living with my uncle at the time, and I was never at my uncle's place. I was always out about because people had their own places. So I would stay over there, and they was cool with it because they just like me. Like, they was cool with me. So they was like, yeah, so I can come over. You feel me? Like, bro, like, you can stay here for as long as I would stay in places, bro, for like a month. You see what I'm saying? Not even touch home. You know what I'm saying? Wash my clothes in the house. And like, man, like, one thing about drugs, man, it's always gonna fail you. The drugs are always gonna fail you. You think you can be happy and do drugs, it's just not possible. At some point, the more you do it, the more you're gonna get mad, the more things are gonna happen. Because when you don't have drugs, it's like it takes over your whole life. Your whole mood changes. Anybody that's ever struggled with drugs or had a family member that was on drugs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It controls your whole mood throughout the day when you don't have it. She struggled on pills. She was always on pills, and I was a coke addict. I think she really liked me because I was different. Like, I didn't do anything with her for 2 months because I wanted to show her that not every guy is like what you think. She would still go out and do that. And I was telling her, like, do know there's an end result to that. And she was like, I do know that. It's like when you're stuck in a life, sometimes you feel like there's no way out. I think that she got to a point where there was no way out of this. This is the only way I can be successful and make money. One day, we was in this hotel, and my best friend, the one that I talked about in another video, she was actually staying there too. I didn't mention her in the story just because it brings back the thought, but she was there too. She got mad because, she felt like the girl was getting comfortable in this hotel, and my best friend was like, she said, this is not our final result. Like, we're gonna figure out a way out of this. The girl was kind of like, she got comfortable, right? Living in a hotel day to day. So one night, me and my best friend, we were just talking, and she started texting me because but she told me not to tell the girl. This is how I've always been. When my mom and dad would get in arguments, my dad would come to me and my mom would come to me, and it was like I have to decide. And I hate being in that position because I'm like, why do I have to be in that position? Like, I was like 8, 9, 10 years old having to pick my side, and I hated that. You see what I'm saying? I had one girl, my best friend, which she was right, but then her, like, I didn't want to then be like, no, you know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, you got 2 against 1, and then now she feels like we're both against her. The girl, my best friend, went to sleep, right? Or she left her phone out and left. And I was in the bathroom, and I was like kind of talking to somebody on the phone. And I was talking to somebody on the phone, and she opened the girl's phone up. She read the text, and she thought we was like sneak dissing, like we was talking about her behind her back. But this is things that we told her in person, but we told her at separate times because we didn't want to feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to tell her, like, don't get comfortable. Like, this is not the final result. You can get out of that life that you're in. But she wasn't really listening, or she was kind of just complacent. The girl would tell her that too. She got mad. She's reading the thing. She don't even say a word. She breaks into the bathroom door. Like, it was locked. She breaks into the bathroom door. Like, imagine this, the phone. She's like, what are these texts right here? I'm sitting on the toilet. Like, I'm not even like using the bathroom, but I be camping in that bathroom. So I was just camping in the bathroom. Right when I was about to say something, like, I was like, well, what are you talking about? Like, this is stuff we told you in person. She's like, no, what are these texts though? And I was like, bro, you're tripping. Right when I said, bro, you're tripping, bro, she socked my shit. Like, bro, she socked me right in my face. Like, I'm talking about like right in my eye. See, the old me, like when I was 17 years old, kind of came out a little bit. Cause I was so close, it was about to come out. Cause I was real close to violating. I walked out the bathroom and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, bro, I finna just leave. Well, I was trying to leave. I was getting my stuff and she wasn't even paying. She was so mad and frustrated that she wasn't even paying attention to the fact that I was dipping. Like, she thought I was just sitting on the bed, just chilling. She seen me start packing. She said, what you doing? What you doing? So she running up on me. I grabbed both of her arms and I pinned her down and I said, look, you see how crazy you look right now? Like, I'm being so calm with her. I'm like, you see how crazy you acting right now? Like, this is exactly what I be talking about. Like, you don't want better. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You still got that way. You're older than me, and I feel more mature than you. So I push her off. I grab my shit. She's chasing me, right? Around the hotel. So I'm jumping on beds and shit because I'm not trying to violate. It's just me and her in a hotel. The girl had left. I ran out the door, like, unlocked the door, ran out. Like, if you really been through things in your life, bro, you know how to get out of situations so fucking quick, bro, because it just be on point. I got out that room so quick. She started chasing me, like, outside down the stairs, bro. And then she stopped, and I called my Uber. And the Uber was like 10 minutes away. And she was like talking to me from like the balcony. It was one of those hotels that is like a balcony. So it was like, you know, like one of them like real cheap hotels, how it's like more like a motel. It looked like a motel. It was like a motel, but it was a hotel. It's like 7 a.m. in the morning. And she said, Silas, like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, she was like, you know, just come back up. And she's like, do you even love me? Like you said you do? And I said, you wouldn't hit me if you love me. You don't respect me. For you to hit me, that means you don't respect me. For you women out here. Now, if your man cheats on you, we weren't even together. See, this is the thing is what I'm saying. We weren't even in a relationship at all. I was just there to help her out with money, but also help her out with how she was. Like, her in that life, I was trying to help her with that. She called me, so I dipped. She was calling my phone. I got back to my uncle's place. I felt so relieved, bro. I remember like laying on my bed, and I was like, bro, I'm at freedom, bro. I was like, fuck, like, I'm finally free. She kept calling me. I answered the phone. When I answered the phone, she said, Silas, look, I'm sorry. Like, I just overreacted. And I was like, look, I'm already home. Like, she didn't even know where I was staying either. Like, I never tell people where I stay. He said, look, if you respected me as a man, you would never put your hands on me. Like, we're not even in a relationship. How do you have the audacity to put your hands on me? And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I got mad. And I was like, look, I love you, but I love you enough to leave you alone and let you figure it out. After that, I ended up just blocking her. And ever since that, I haven't spoke to her ever since. And I looked at her Instagram, like, and she hadn't posted since that time that we last even talked. So I don't know what happened to her. One thing about me, bro, is you could have done me wrong so bad, bro. Like, all my exes, I love them, bro. Because I feel like this life is too short to hate. For you fellas out here, bro, if y'all still out here doing that dirt, I know Flight Reacts be saying that. If you still out here doing that dirt, bro, wrap it up, bro. And last thing, stay hydrated, get to the money, and stay up.